What is up, guys? Redflex95 here with a video for just testing out my stream setup. It's not going to be anything crazy. This isn't like a new Let's Play. I just bumped my mic. Sorry about that. Um, I, I'm ready to go. I'm just going to cut into it. We're going to be playing Plague Inc today. And hopefully the overlay looks pretty good. I have it right here. I can't personally see it at this stage. I saw it when we were back in OBS, but yeah, I think I'm sure most of you know what I mean. So, in terms of progress, I just have these two left to do, the Xenolith and the Plague, Shadow Plague, but we're not going to worry about this today. Or really at all, I'm not going to be playing this game much. Anyway, um, personally, I think I'm going to be going with Bacteria just to start this test, and we're going to be going with what I have here. I kind of followed a guide to get a lot of these, but I mostly know what to do now, so I'm probably not going to follow guides for the rest of my time playing this, just to have a bit of fun. But in Plague Inc, you have genes, and over time you unlock these by finishing a game. You unlock one at a time, and each plague typically has about 25 total genes, 5 in each category. And depending on the bacteria or disease you use, it could be different stuff, so just keep that in mind. Basically, we have 5 categories. We have DNA genes, mutation genes, travel genes, environment genes, and evolution genes. So for DNA genes, we have ATP boost, which gives us beginning DNA, which could be pretty good. It helps out a little bit early on, and I recommend it definitely early on for whatever. I recommend it throughout the whole game. There's like a few times I don't use it, but yeah, Cytochrome Surge, more DNA from popping DNA bubbles. It sounds good, but to be real with you, you don't need it. Metabolic Jump, get more DNA from popping biohazard bubbles, which a little more situational than this. Cytochrome is way better than Metabolic. Catalytic Switch, get bonus DNA for popping blue cure bubbles. Don't go for it, not worth it. Metabolic Hijack, it lets you automatically pop bubbles on screen, which could be kind of good, but realistically, ATP boost is best. Now for our genetic mimics, or genetic stuff, or mutation stuff, we have Darnist, which makes it so our plague has a chance of mutating more. Creationist, which is a chance of mutating less. Genetic mimic, which makes our plague harder to cure. This one is S tier. Definitely go with it always. Base oxidation. I can't say that word. I'm sorry. Your plague can mutate transmissions. I don't really care for these. It also makes it easier to cure. I'd rather go for this because this pairs very well with one of these ones. Terracite makes it so we spread better on land, air, sea, more likely to cross borders, and then more effective in your starting country. I always recommend going with Aquasite. There's, again, a few exceptions, but the sea is a major barrier to succeeding in this game, especially on higher difficulties. You want to have the ability to spread on sea a lot better than air or land. There's ways to get around this stuff. Sea is basically kind of like a luck-based thing. Now we got our files, which are xerophile, which is arid climates, humid climates, rural climates, urban climates or environments, and then all environments, just a little bit less each. I go with extremophile. Definitely the best one here. And then we have bonus DNA when devolving. Not exactly the best. There's a few times where this could be kind of decent, but I don't really use it. Cost to devolve doesn't increase. Symptostasis, which is costs don't increase, but easier to cure. This and genetic mimic cancel each other out. That's why I like going with these. Pathostasis is ability costs don't increase, and transstasis is transmission doesn't increase. I go with symptoms. Symptom costs don't increase for bacteria, just for the sheer fact that it's just really good. It's stupid good. And now we have 4 difficulty options, plus some cheats, but I'm not going to get into those. Casual, new player. For new players wanting a quick game, no one washes their hands, research doctors don't work, and sick people given hugs. Oh boy, sounds kind of familiar, not gonna lie. For experienced genetic strategists, 67.3% of people wash their hands, doctors work 3 days a week, and sick people are ignored. Jeez. A strategic geniuses living in concrete bunkers. Well, I don't necessarily live in a concrete bunker, but I do live in my room mostly. Compulsive hand washing, which I do. Doctors never go home. God, there's a lot of similarities here. Sick people locked in prison. Okay, Jesus. For those who thought brutal was casual, genetic drift impacts evolution. Doctors invest in research, random medical checkups. We're gonna be doing this on Mega Brutal. I'm not gonna go back to it, but I'll show you what this is gonna do. I forgot about how it keeps the names. We're gonna name it something that isn't shark farts. We'll name it Neon RGB. I don't know. Something stupid. So, this game has been updated recently to reflect more real life stuff. I'm not really sure if there's any country name changes or anything like that, but I do feel like they did change part of the Middle East to just be called the Middle East, so that's kind of an interesting change. I'm not sure if that was already in the game, but now the world population is over 8 billion. It used to be like 7.7, now it's it's now 8 billion. It's crazy. So, I'm gonna just say it right now. There's one thing I hate about this game. It's the motherfreaking islands. Madagascar, Greenland, Iceland, New Zealand, New Guinea sometimes, the Philippines, Indonesia, and Japan could be very annoying in their own ways. Where I typically start, though, a lot of these islands do get popped pretty early on. The only one that I really have concern about is Morocco, which is not an island, but it's just kind of like usually the last country I get fully infected. And Greenland. Because Greenland only has one seaport, and the only, I believe, country that has connection with Greenland, from what I can remember, is Russia. And even if you do get Russia early on, which is possible because of where we usually start, where I recommend, it's not a guarantee every time. So I don't expect myself to do... Oh, I forgot. Caribbean islands, Cuba and stuff. Yeah, Caribbean. Those ones suck too. I always, 9 times out of 10, Saudi Arabia is the best place to start your journey. It connects to a lot of these countries. It's near Africa, which connects to South America. It's very close to Russia, which could get us early on Greenland. It also can potentially connect us to these islands in Australia. So it's super useful, and with having a decent population, it's not going to trigger expensive costs right out of the gate, because the more people you infect in countries, the cost of things go up, which is why I recommend pathostasis and things like that. So I'm going to start with Greenland, or not Greenland, Saudi Arabia. Neon Lights begins in Saudi Arabia. Okay. So first things first, we have transmissions, which allow us to spread our disease a bit better, and I definitely used to go for as much of these as I could, but to be real with you, you don't need to. They're not all necessary. I'll talk about them when I get there. Symptoms are where you're going to get your lethality, at least for early on diseases. We have infectivity, severity, and lethality. Lethality, you do not want to... Sorry, my mouse does this stupid glitch. I don't know why, but anyway. Lethality has this... basically kills people. We're not going to focus on this quite yet. We'll get there when we get there, but I'm not going to make that a main focus for the time being. We actually want to get severity up to about right here. That's kind of what I like to do. Infectivity is the rate of which your disease spreads. And then abilities are your resistances. These allow your bacteria to probably, I think... Okay, so protects against all climates. Sounds good, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then you got cold resistance, heat resistance, and drug resistance. For the time being, I'm going to start with getting water resistance and air resistance upgraded. I'm not going to worry about any of these. We have livestock, blood, insect, rodent, and bird. You don't need these. Bird is maybe optional, but honestly, you just need water 1, 2, and air 1 and 2. That's all you need. And we set it to triple speed because that way it goes faster. Sorry. It just out of nowhere I started sniffling like crazy. Get that air resist, or not air resistance. Get that air up, yo. So depending on the country or continent you're on, like environments could be different. Like we're in an arid country. That's heat. But if we go up to Russia, it's more humid and cold. If we go up here, it's just ice cold. Simple as that. Oh, we got our first spread, or our second country, which I believe is Iran. Okay. Wow, we skipped Iran. They skipped? Must have went like this. Okay. Oh, India. Yeah, you can see now we're starting to get spread. Oh, we got New Zealand and Madagascar. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful to get those early on. New Zealand, man, I've had games where that place just... It was like, about that. We're just going to not let you get me. So as you saw, like when I was talking, I did upgrade rash, sweating, and skin lesions, as well as insomnia and paranoia. These are really good to get right now. They have no lethality. They increase their severity and infectivity by quite a lot. I'm also going to grab myself this, and I might get sneezing because this helps in... No, I'm going to get pneumonia because pneumonia helps in cold climates, and even though pneumonia is technically lethal, it doesn't have lethality in this game. It might be for other reasons. I'm not 100% sure. And I'll get sneezing as well. Now, we gotta be careful, because we could potentially get necrosis early on, and I don't want necrosis early on. Necrosis is very lethal. I would say this is among the top 3 strongest symptoms that you could potentially get. Inflammation. Let's see what that does. Oh, that's lethal. I don't want that. Unfortunately, it does cost... Oh, no, we get a refund on this one. Okay. Sometimes, depending on the disease, you have to pay DNA to refund stuff. Yeah, I'm just glad it wasn't... Starts up here. Don't worry about that. Now, extreme bioaerosol is kind of not required. It's mostly optional, just like the rest of this. I might get it, but I also might just hold off. I want to get cold resistance. I want to get cold resistance too, and then I want to get drug resistance too. You can see how much money we're making now when we're spreading. With severity this far up, you get a lot more DNA. You get more DNA for your red bubbles. So now we can afford this. I'm also going to get genetic hardening just so we have a little bit more time when it comes to our symptoms, our spread. So far, I did not spread anywhere more north, which kind of sucks, but our first death, and it was not the disease. Okay, we got the other islands. We still have a lot of Europe and Iceland and Greenland untapped, which kind of sucks. So hopefully we can get those very soon before the ports shut down. We got Greenland. Boys, we got Greenland. Now we just need Iceland. I need Iceland before we do anything else. So I'm not getting any stuff. I need Iceland first. Unfortunately, I don't think any I guess I'll get bioaerosol just so we could get that air transmission going better. Genetic hardening 2. I'm gonna... Man, that's a lot of gold money, but I'm fine with that. I'm gonna get genetic reshuffle just because. Fingers crossed we can get... Seizures. I don't want seizures. As a person who has had seizures in the past, I don't care for it. Okay, Iceland, don't be an edgy boy. Wow. We were doing so good, and then just no ships decided... I mean, I know I'm playing a high difficulty, but Christ alive, man. No ships went to Iceland at any point? What the hell happened? Alright, I'm gonna get this early on, because that way we can... Do I need anything? No, I don't. I don't want any of that. That way we get some early on infectivity, so once all the red bubbles start rolling in, we get a lot more bang for our buck. Perfect. Okay, that's pretty much where I want to go for that. Then I'll go with water and air next. A little bit of a slow start, but once things get rolling, you saw how quickly we spread early game. I just got really unlucky with Iceland. Normally it's Greenland that screws me. I'm surprised Iceland... Oh. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. That's funny. Okay. And then we got Russia early on, which is pretty good. We got New Zealand, America. Nice. That's done. Now we could get some resistances. I want to get drug resistance next, just because we're in the US and stuff, and that's more of a... Yeah, they just popped up right there. So yeah, we want drug resistance because we just had a pop-up that said that drug resistance in places increased. Nausea. I'm good with nausea. I like that. Not in real life, but yeah. Alright, what's still a lot of islands? Alright, which one of you suckers are going to be the one that screws me over this time? Okay, we got one of the islands. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Morocco's the only country left. Alright, so at this stage, I think we're pretty safe to just... Let's see, 25. Yeah, I'll get birds just so that helps with land transmission. We're pretty safe to go into more lethal stuff because we only have Morocco to really worry about. And I know for a fact that necrosis is just pretty bad. So what I'm going to do is... there's one that I want to get that helps. I think I already got it. We'll wait a moment. Okay, Morocco's gone. I'm gonna hold off on this for the time being. I want to work on other things. Yep, that's the one I was thinking. Severe emotional and behavioral abnormal... I don't know why I can't talk. Harder to cure. That's why I wanted to get that. Let's see. I definitely want to get that. I definitely want to get that. You can see how much DNA we have. It's very inexpensive to do this. I'm just going in. I went for it. I went for total organ failure and necrosis. We're going in for just melting people. Infectivity-wise, I think we're pretty good. I'll get that just for the heck of it, and then we should be able to just start slaughtering people. Cysts. Even though we're killing very fast, we are still spreading the disease very fast in terms of... like, yeah, just... it's... we're good. Stuff like necrosis and vomiting has helped out quite a lot. You just saw how quickly we just did that. Yeah. We'll go with coma. Harder to cure. Paralysis. You saw the percentage here in the world bar just went down. Not the most optimal. I'm not going with like 5 stars or anything like that, but we did it. Four stars. Wow, that's good. And then, I liked watching this world destroyed screen. So yeah, with the bacteria, it starts slow, but then it gets very out of hand fast. We didn't have a lot of things like upgrade itself, unlock itself with the Darwinist. A little bit surprised. That was plague on Mega Brutal. Let's do one more. I want to switch it up. I don't want to do virus. Honestly, virus kind of sucks. I want to do Norax worm. Norax worm is a very interesting plague in that, unlike the other diseases that we've played with, or the other disease, this one lets you kind of just destroy the world effectively. So in terms of abilities, I recommend Transstasis for very obvious reasons. I will get into a minute. Aquastite, of course, Darwinist, Metabolic Jump from popping red bubbles, so definitely really good. We'll go with that. Dick Doc, we'll stick with that. I can't beat that name. And we're going to be starting with the obvious country. So the Nurax worm is a bit special in that it has a few gimmicks that make it a bit quirky. Where rather than being like a bacteria that just spreads and kills, this one you basically get to robotically control people in a way where you can spread it around and make people do what you want. It's kind of interesting, and it has a very good ability that allows it to hijack planes and take them to wherever you want. Once we gain this ability, it just becomes super easy to just kind of crush people. Honestly, Norax Worm is probably one of the easiest Mega Brutals there is, because you can very easily just save up your stuff and just go all in. Start getting that spread going. Sorry, just keeping an eye on time because I do have an appointment this morning, but not for a little while. A little bit quirky, but I like to go for weirder options. And I'm experimenting mostly. I'm not like following any specific guides. Not going very optimal or anything like that. If I do lose this like 2 or 3 times, then I will use a guide just to do a little bit of showing off, yeah. I will say this though, I think I am gonna get a Trojan cold resistance and a Trojan plane just because any second now there should be a plane pop up. Go to the islands. Although it would be easier for us to kind of spread to, because with this is a guaranteed way of getting to the islands. I'm gonna just go to South America. And that might pop up again, so it's not, we're not out of the woods yet or anything. Yeah, so we'll do that then. Frontal mesh, let's see what that does. Make sure that's not anything I should be concerned about. Frontal mesh, frontal mesh, frontal mesh. Where is it? This one. There we go. That's what I wanted to get. Okay. Where do we need to go? Let's go to Africa. Morocco, just so we could get that early on. Spread is good. I don't need to worry about that now. So now we could infect even places with airports and seaports locked. Oh, Caribbean, you're locked. I'm sorry, man. Even if they don't have an airport. A lot of Europe, so we're gonna head there. Right. That's kind of a glitch with the Trojan plane. If you do that, what I just did, it kind of... We got cured out. I don't know why Russia just didn't want to get infected. I guess we're going there first. But I do know what I want to go for first now. Switch it up a little bit. I'm getting that right now because it's cheap. As time goes on, the more infection you spread, the more expensive things get. So I want to get that before it becomes too much. So I'm going to kind of get a Trojan plane now. And I'm going to go with Russia because I need to get that. Kind of focusing on the islands a little bit, just... Neural breach. Okay, cool. Pausing. No reason not to. Let's see. Madagascar's gone. You're gone. You're not. I need to pause. Before we click that, let's see. No, 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 sorry. Fat fingers. It's time to start getting some disease. I do kind of want to save up for that. We'll get Adoration, but I do want to get Transcendence. Oh, okay. Well, if I click that, I'll lose it, so I don't want to do that. Morocco. I want to see... There we go, Caribbean. So that's the next Neurax worm location is Caribbean. I think I just saw a boat land there, which is kind of funny. Since we have Transcendence, what that does is it makes everyone that's currently infected just absolutely worship our worm. Sorry. The immaturity in me just took over. I guess before you could just see this graph. It's really cool. I like how they do this. And I guess Angola, just because that's the only place that's really there. And Iceland. Yeah, I don't want any death. I already got... Oh, people are dying anyway. Shit. Okay, yep, that's it. As their god and master, yada yada. So not the greatest, but I enjoyed it. Let's check it out. Getting Iceland early was really good. God, Iceland just was like bombarded. I shouldn't say that with what's going on today, but that was Norax Worm. That's one of my personal favorites. And the last one I want to show for you guys today, since I have just a bit more time, is... I think we're going to do Simian Flu, because that's another one I really like. This is to... I mean, it says it right there, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Not my favorite movies, but definitely pretty good. And this one focuses on a little bit of something more interesting and unique. Rather than being more sea-based, you want to get land-based. You definitely want Strong Together, because this helps out a lot during the long run. This is a fun one to do on Mega Brutal. Rod. Alright, we'll go with it. And I recommend starting in Africa. Our goal is to basically infect all the apes and monkeys before anything else. And Africa has the largest population of those animals. So we'll start with Central Africa. And then early on, we're going to grab... First thing we're going to grab is this. The green bar on the top here is apes and stuff like that, so we'll want that to be filled up. Our next goal is to start colonies. We want to get ape colonies as well as organized travel at some point. Eventually we'll get ape rampage. We don't really need primal awareness, honestly. Get ape colonies. We want to get this path. Once we have enough, I'm going to get a colony here in Central Africa just so we can start. There we go. So for symptoms, don't really worry about them. The only one you want to worry about is neuro enhancement, because this one actually makes humans more intelligent. If this ever becomes a thing, downgrade it immediately. It is not required for anything. It's not recommended. We want to get education next. Nothing wrong with a little education once in a while, as long as it's, you know, legitimate education, not brainwashing, but we don't really need to talk about that, do we? I'm going to get this right now so we can travel around a bit better. So, as you can see, we have no viable places for a colony quite yet. I said that, and then that happened. So, yes, we now have another colony. You can see that we already have a massive population of apes and stuff like that infected. That's just how insane doing this early on is. I'll get this right now too. That way we can get that setted. Logistics. I definitely want to get horseback riding and seafaring. As for this, joint pain. Okay, let's see what that does. Hold up. Sure. No, I don't want that. That one is kind of trash. Sorry. Abilities. I definitely want seafaring, and we are gonna start kind of spreading. I'm gonna go with Brazil. For you, I want to go... Actually. I might be getting mixed. I think that's the zombie virus that works the way I'm thinking. God, why is joint pain always the one? Oh, hello. Yeah, that's a thing I notice with this sometimes. Did it just mutate that again? It mutated that again, didn't it? Okay, well, whatever. Okay, I think we're good here. We just wait. getting this now because we're going to be getting into some combat. Okay, yep. Narrow, we don't want that. We don't want that. That is going to devolve. That is a lot, but not worth it. Cool, I just got an achievement. Ew. Okay, well, I think we're pretty safe to do this now. With a lot of the world apes now infected, we could... It's pretty much safe to say we can do this now. We're also going to want to start getting some more colonies and stuff like that elsewhere. Korea, right? Whenever these pop up, destroy them with this one. You need to have some population in that, though. Give me a second. I did not realize I did not have a Greenland population here. All the islands. Shit. Did not mean to cause mayhem there. Oh, boy. I gotta make sure nothing... Yeah, that did upgrade. I want to get rid of that. Why is Canada Caribbean already fucked off? What? Okay, I'm targeting that, right? How the fuck did this happen? Sorry. Just the imagery of that. Okay. Whatever. I don't really have time to reset that because that is like a 20-minute. That one, I would say, takes the longest out of all of them, unless if the new one that they released, the anti-vaxxers one, is longer. I just feel like this one has more content than even the zombie or the maybe the Shadow Plague is actually probably the longer one. That one could take a while from what I remember. I just got really poor luck on that, but I got my test out of the way, so I'm not mad with that. Kind of a shame that resulted in the 1 hour. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll upload this as soon as possible, and for my first stream, that's going to be actually later today at the time of recording this. So hope to see you over on Twitch. I'll leave the basic. I'm going to just copy paste my last description. I hope to see you there. Peace out.